Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jambox. We're here. We're back at it again, and we're going to get on into it. But before we do, as always, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. You know, I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. With that being said, here's a quick word from our sponsors. Organic herbs and botanicals, skincare and edibles, wellness for body and mind. The Brothers Apothecary. Fine teas and remedies. Ronald Records. From indie gems to classic hits, discover the heart of local music. With live shows all the time, up close and personal, and regular releases on their in-house label. Ronald Records. Supporting the community, one track at a time. All right, thank you all so much for watching. Again, shout out The Brothers Apothecary and Ronald Records. Make sure to click the link below and go check them out. And today we're sipping on some Portland water. Make sure to get you some. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get on into it. Here is today's guests.
I'm Neezy Dynamite.
I'm Vanny Keeps.
And we are Fox Medicine.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, give us that like Tinder profile of your involvement with the band.
Never been on Tinder, but we are a band from Portland, Oregon. This is where we live. And we invented a genre called bubblegum doom. And it's pretty heavy and fun. And we tour the U.S. pretty often. And yeah, that's who we are.
Well,
my drummer.
Yeah. I was gonna say, what do y'all do in the band individually?
I play guitar and sing and write most of the time and book the tours.
I hit stuff with sticks.
I'm a little bit of a Sharon, Ozzy, and Tony, and Geezer, I guess, situation.
Yeah.
Pink Sabbath.
Awesome.
We have fun.
It sounds like it. And I was checking out your music, and I'm excited to get into that more in the middle.
All right.
Yeah.
But we're going to take a moment, and let's find out what got you all started in music individually. And we'll go ahead and start at this end.
Man, I was in band when I was young, jazz band, you know, and I just have always had music in my life, and I hope that I never stop. So the instruments have changed, but the drive and the vision's always been there. It really checks all the boxes for me. You know, everything in life that needs to be done, really, I feel, in my case, can be done through music.
No, I love that.
Yeah.
What instrument did you start on initially?
Trumpet.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. I'm in B flat.
Oh, fun.
So, but you know, then I got into guitar, you know, and that was super cool. I, you know, got a couple Gibsons or whatever, but I always felt a little boxed in by the pentatonic scale on the guitar. I really wanted to express myself in other ways. So then eventually coming back around, I started playing drums for this band.
In fact, I was the drummer initially, though.
Oh, yeah. We can, yeah.
We've morphed. And
I played keyboard.
And I played drums.
And I sang.
And I also wanted him to play accordion so that I could do like...
Yeah, we're not scared
dancing
to get weird.
It took a minute to create like the current setup.
Yeah, so we had this project and we did some recording and that was cool. But then I was like, wait, I think you're better at guitar. Really, you should be up front.
I'm a good drummer though.
She's a good drummer.
A cave woman stuff.
But yeah, cave woman, yeah.
Not trained professionally, but
then we switched it up and it just started clicking. And then, you know, I'm like, I'm gonna dive into drums. You know, we're in the YouTube, you know, era, and anything you want to do.
Very much so.
You went hard. Like
you can really dial in and look up techniques. I mean, it's really a renaissance of drumming.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful time to be a drummer. Exciting. You should, you know, you look at some of these guys online and what they're doing, and they're bending the boundaries of what's possible.
Yeah, very much so.
But of course, we pay homage to the greats that came before us. All you have to do is stand on the shoulders of giants.
Yes.
All right.
Oh yeah. And then, what was your start for music?
Well, I think I had an existential crisis when I was 6 years old. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And then I actually just thought of this morning, and I just went screaming to my grandma. I was like, Grandma, I figured it out. I'm going to be a rock star. And she was like, oh, honey. She's like, there's so much competition there. And I'm like, I don't care. I will work the hardest. And so here we are. My mom was a guitar player. She had an acoustic Gibson hanging on the wall because she kind of retired it for a minute. And then she said to me, whatever you do, don't touch the guitar. So when she left the house, I climbed up on the couch, grabbed the guitar, and then I started playing guitar and like keyboards pretty young. And I've never really stopped. I've always been in bands in high school. Like my first band at 14, I think we played a skateboarding competition in a park, and now I'm like at the skate park all the time, so I've come full circle. I feel like there's just never been another option for me.
That sounds like well, that's awesome. Well, it sounds like y'all kind of got started really early and like have just kind of stuck with it since.
Yeah.
Now I have a couple foundation questions I'm picking with everybody on.
Let's hit it.
And this first one is one we ask early, it's one we ask often, and it's definitely a crowd favorite, and you can answer with whoever comes up with the thought first. What was the first album you ever bought with your own money?
I know. I'm going to let you answer though.
I'm trying to think.
Well,
like vinyl? CD?
Vinyl CD, whichever one was just the first like thing that you purchased.
Cassette tape.
Aerosmith.
Okay.
Yeah.
How old were you when you bought that?
15 maybe. Who knows?
Okay.
And some of these bands may not be like the coolest anymore, but for me, Metallica was like a formative.
I mean, they were a household name for a pretty long time.
Sort of thing. And there's a lot of hate on Lars right now, and his drumming was huge for me when I was young.
Yeah.
The double kick, when I heard the double kick, that really set me off on a path. I'm like, I want to do double kick. So that's why I still, to this day, try to fit in as much double kick as is tastefully possible, of course. All right, what do you got?
My answer is pretty wild because I grew up in Europe, and so I'm pretty sure the first cassette tape I had was a Serbian pop singer star, and she kind of looked like Barbie, and her name was Tai Chi.
Deep cut.
Yeah, that is a deep
in there.
Yeah.
And she wore like an orange dress with like polka dots on it, and had big like earrings, and that was it for me. Listen to that.
I'm not going to get answers like that.
I was going to say, I'm excited to check that out after this is done.
I think it was my stepmom that got it for me, but yeah.
Well, that's awesome. And then what was one of the first live shows y'all ever went to that was like one specifically you wanted to go to?
I can recall all this like right away, but I want to give you a chance.
No, please, you go first because...
David Bowie, 9 Inch Nails.
Shut up. That was
okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, my sister took me. Yeah. We spent the whole afternoon burning incense and, listening to, I think it was Downward Spiral. Well,
I'm going to trump yours because I saw the very last Nirvana show when I was like...
What?
Whoa.
Really?
Munich.
Whoa.
Stadium.
That's awesome.
And I was like, because it was, I grew up in Germany and there was all like techno and weird stuff. And because I played guitar, I discovered bands like that. And the Melvins actually opened for them. And that's where I fell in love with them.
Nice.
When Nirvana was like, at the time, I didn't really I was like, yeah, these guys are cool. But I wasn't really as impressed as I was with the Melvins because they were just so weird. And I'm like, this is the way.
Damn. Well, I was curious what you were going to say to trump his answer. Like
I don't mean to brag. I don't tell people that often, but that was
I didn't know that.
I don't remember it like that much, but like I was there. I'm like,
whoa.
Well, no, I mean, also it's one of those moments where like in the moment you can't know that it's
you're like, wait a minute, I was at that show.
Yeah.
Like,
whoa.
It was a mess. It was huge. Like the big stadium was outside.
Good for you.
Yeah, what an experience.
Yeah.
All right,
I wish I appreciated it, but it was definitely a founding block.
Hell yeah.
Founding block, yeah.
Well, thank y'all for sharing those with us.
Yeah.
Exciting answers all the way around.
Cool.
But now let's go ahead and get on into the here and now. We are, however, going to get a super easy one out of the way.
Okay.
How'd y'all pick the name?
Oh, that came to me in a dream. We were trying to, because I'm always in bands, and there was a period when I wasn't in a band. So I was like, okay, well, we need to start another band. So I wrote down some names, and then in my dream, it came to me, fox medicine. And then I looked it up, and it had really good meaning. Basically, like a lot of animals have like a spiritual message for us. So I don't know, the fox spoke to me. So it still fits and feels right.
Yeah. And then were you around at the beginning as well? Like, are you part of the original start of the
Yeah,
band?
I remember I called him on the phone because he was living in Chicago at the time, and I was like, I got the name. And he was like, I like it. He's like, actually, I looked it up. I think I have fox medicine. This is like...
Oh, boy.
Anywhere. So it just fits right away.
We love the primal element of music. We love the deep connection, especially for me, with nature. But for me, playing the drums, I mean, I don't know how much more primal you can get.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to invoke the primal emotion, and to us, that relates to nature so beautifully, you know.
And we've been described as guttural and raw.
So yeah, that's more of the vibe that we're trying
Cave woman here.
trying to do.
Oh yeah.
So
And then how did you all meet initially?
That actually is also kind of a cool story.
we got stories.
Oh yeah.
We got stories all day.
Most people that know us, but we actually met at a Melvin's show in Chicago. They did like 2 nights in a row.
At the Double Door.
Yeah. And I was actually on tour with like my other band. I was living in Canada at the time. As you can tell, I'm an international.
I was gonna say you've been everywhere.
Yeah. And then we're like, we'll just go to Chicago because the Melvins are playing 2 days in a row. So I met him the first night there, and then I think they did like 2 albums, right? They did Houdini and something else.
It was awesome. They had 2 drummers.
Yeah.
Right.
It was pretty dope.
I remember my beer was just like body
was
temperature.
very hot.
It was just dripping.
It was just like,
And you know, I was
it was
like,
May
"Ugh."
31st, and it was the hottest night in Chicago, and it was all sweaty dudes like in the front, and I think I was like the only girl there.
Yeah. Well, 2-night show. It was sold out, and my buddy Nick got me in because he knew the door guy, you know, and
So we
so.
almost wouldn't have met if Nick didn't get you in.
Yeah, shout out.
Thanks, Nick.
Was that the second time you'd seen the Melvins?
No.
Or had you seen them in between then?
No,
I'm everywhere.
Okay.
everywhere. Yeah.
Well, hell yeah, that's cool. And then
They just keep changing my life.
yeah, very much
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
Good.
And then let's talk about your writing process. How do y'all go about putting a track together from like when you get it started? How does that happen?
I can speak to this.
Indeed. Go ahead.
So it all starts in my closet. I have this tiny little walk-in closet, and it's kind of a like nest. It's very messy. But I just basically sit there with my guitar and write songs, and with my little notebook. And then once I have a demo, I have something, I go present it to him, and it's basically like abstract art chaos. And then he has to decipher it, put it on a grid, make it make sense. Be like, what is this? Like, what is it? You know,
Just pulls out the decoder ring.
So then, like, we kind
little
of
bit.
merge, we join our forces and powers, and then out of that, sometimes there's harsh words and struggles because you know, some disagreements. But
We both feel very strongly about
at the end of it, it's
direction.
like better than the original thoughts. So
it is like a tempering process.
yeah.
But so yeah,
But when it's a collaboration, it's the best.
When
Sometimes I'm very persistent, like this
Yeah.
is how it is. We're not changing it. But I find that when I let him influence it, it's better.
Yeah, and when I take her stuff in this kind of crazy, chaotic, sort of non-time signature sort of phrase,
It's called abstract art.
and then I put it against, as a drummer, I'm always putting things against the grid, you know, and trying to quantize it.
Yeah, he got me a portable little metronome so that I can make more sense.
So, but I will say on this latest album,
That we're currently working on.
just because I'm playing drums every day, 2-3 times a day, she's hearing my drum beats, or I have a bunch of different ideas that I am auditioning, basically.
Sometimes they influence me because I can hear them in the closet. I'm like, wait, I like that, and I'll start writing with that, and then I'll present it back to him. It's like, I don't remember what I was playing, and I'm like, don't worry, I recorded it.
I'll reach in my little bag, you know, and how about this one? Nope. Okay. This one? No. All right. No. And I'll just keep at it until I can figure something out. Or sometimes she'll just come in, oh, I love what you're doing. This is what I'm gonna, do for that. So
we kind of work individually in different rooms and then come together and
that's where we're at.
fuse our energies.
And so I'm pushing hard for jungle drums, military jungle drums on this album, more toms, less cymbals kind of stuff.
I love that. I have no objection to that.
I hope to have that kind of double kick jungle drum thing going for this next album.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And y'all kind of touched on this already, but when it comes to creative differences and such, how do you go about working those out?
So gracefully, let me tell you.
You just sit down, you bring notes,
Unbelievably
you put a monocle in.
There's doors being slammed.
calm, collected.
Then we take a break and then we come back to it.
I think whoever has you really have to push for your vision.
Yeah.
If you truly believe that this is the right way to go for the song, then eventually somebody's going to relent.
We're driven by hot passion, so that each one is like, my idea is.
But the tempering does have to occur, and then of course
we've done some compromise. Like this last song we're working on, like I was like, okay, fine, I won't do the weird thing the second time.
Thank you.
But I'll do it in the beginning. So
thank you.
Like we compromise, so we each get what we want, but I'll still have my weird thing in the beginning.
And then there's the end result is a product that we're both happy with.
Yeah.
I guess that is the magic sauce, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think that the description of tempering is a good way of saying it. It's like, you got to kind of come at it from all the sides and move it around a little bit, but then eventually kind of molds into that like total.
Yeah, you grow spiritually each time you write a song, especially with us. It's like kind of a battle because we have conflicting ideas sometimes, but I think that's what makes us good.
I think it's the yin yang, energy there.
Yeah.
You got to have the both sides of it. And, another thing that we're doing differently this time is the first couple of albums we were going into the studio and the songs were green, that we were still working on them.
Just demoed them, like we just came up with them. So we're like, go to the studio trying to record this fresh material. Whereas now we either we tour it a bunch, like we play it live.
I love.
Because the songs evolve so much on the road when you play them.
So hard, so
like,
nice.
I almost want to re-record all our old songs because they're so much better now, like because they've had time to become like to themselves. And but yeah, now we are like one song at a time. Like we'll just introduce them at a show. And actually this last tour, I've introduced 2 new songs and people are like, I want to buy that. I'm like, well, that's not recorded yet.
You gotta wait.
That's coming.
Yeah.
So that's a good way to approach it.
We're merciless in terms of we're gonna mess with you. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be aggressive. You may not be able to tell where it's going.
Music.
And we don't take it easy on anybody because we're doing it for ourselves, to make ourselves happy, and we like it.
It's not like easy listening at all. Like you have to pay attention.
We're gonna challenge you a little bit
and throw you for a loop.
I think that there's nothing wrong with that, though. I think that music should sometimes be comforting and lulling, but other times it should be activating,
challenging,
engaging. Yeah, it should. You should have to question what you're hearing. Yeah. Because that's how music evolves. Like if somebody ever just stays in that comfort zone. Exactly.
In its arrangement.
And also I think I can appreciate this, like the ways of approaching it and how you get there with it. So I really dig that.
Yeah.
But I do want to talk about your music a little bit because, obviously that's what you do.
Let's roll.
And first of all, how did you come up with the description bubblegum doom?
Well, I've been making this type of music, like this kind of merger of like heavy and fun, kind of sweet music. Like that's just what comes out of me. And then I had different names for it. Wasn't sure. But then, I don't know, one day that name just came to me and I like it because bubblegum is like usually associated with pop music, which we're not trying to be.
Yeah.
But I just like the idea of like something being fun and tasting good, and then putting that with like doom metal, which I love. And sometimes I feel that it could be more exciting. So I'm just trying to infuse it with more flavor. And yeah, the name came and everybody loved it. And it's just been a thing since its conception.
I'm realizing at this moment that it is the duality that we're after. It is the bubblegum doom. It is the chaotic, but it's also the resolution. That we don't just give complete chaos. There is resolution within the song. There's the tension and there's the repose. Yeah. And I believe that is where the root of the bubblegum doom is. Yes.
Thank
I dig
you.
that.
And also her genius, of course.
Yes, very much so.
Previously.
But when I was listening to it, it almost made sense like immediately. Like it did not take very long to get into it and be like,
yeah,
that is exactly what it is. There's not a
most
better
people say that, and I'm glad, because some writers that initially were reviewing us, they're like, well, I was expecting some kind of like thing put together by the labels like baby metal or some kind of, you know, contrived thing, but this is its own thing. It's completely unique, but it does reflect the name.
Very much so.
Yeah, I like baby metal.
You know,
I do too.
baby metal is cool, but like I
like the
almost
dancing.
when I heard the definition of the genre, or like that term, and then like went and listened to the music, I didn't go that direction in the least. Like it is very much its own kind of sound, and very like refreshing in that, you know, still like challenging and perceptive way. And y'all have been doing music for a minute. Like you got music that goes all the way back to 2016 on Spotify. And that's a good long time to be doing it. Coming up on, 8 years?
I feel like it's our time, you know. I don't think there's anybody better suited to do what we're doing than us at this moment.
I mean, obviously,
professional at this point.
I was gonna say, obviously, y'all are doing it if you're touring all the way around the place.
Yeah, we
just
tour
like
a
doing
lot.
stuff.
No.
Honestly, the best part about being in a band is touring and like seeing all your friends. And I consider all our fans, we have an amazing fan base. Whenever we travel, we get to see them. It's like seeing family and friends. So it's really fulfilling that way.
And we're just relentless because, you know, it is our time. And so we moved from like wanting to do it to doing it.
Yeah.
It's such a different mindset. We are doing it. We're there, you know, and we're making it happen. Not wondering about it.
On a mainstream level, like, you know, I've always liked bands that were on the outskirts, kind of on the fringes of the mainstream. And obviously, I feel like right now the mainstream has never been more boring and more like trying to dumb people down. And it's just, I'm sorry, but boring is like the only word that comes to mind. It's just not fulfilling at all. And I think people want something with more raw, like human spirit. And
it's very stagnant.
So I think it's never been a better time to be, you know, an underground independent artist, because you get all those people that are hungry for that.
Yeah.
And you know, we are notorious for playing the most unconventional like places. We'll do generator shows in front of like a library convention. We'll do, you know, skate parks. We'll do art
picnics,
shows. Like, you know, record stores. We'll play outside of record stores.
Phoenix Theater.
I mean, throw in everything. Like, we were headlining the Phoenix Theater in Petaluma, which was amazing. But then also we'll play the next day on the street in San Francisco in front of a record store. And those are the most fun because people are like, wow, I'm just walking down the street and here comes this like rock and roll bonanza.
We get a lot of love from the people out there. It's fun.
And
I could imagine.
We're single-handedly trying to save rock and roll because somebody's got to do it. And, you know,
my favorite part about tour is the special treatment I get.
Yeah.
You know, here's your parking spot. Oh, are you hungry?
Yep.
Oh, come on. You want to stay at our place? Come to the barbecue, whatever. It's so fun.
People are really nice to us on the road.
But I just want to say one more thing. As we approach the musical singularity that's coming in terms of, you know, pop music and all these different things, we're poised right at the jump off point for the counter, essentially, you know, movement that's going to happen. I mean, every single
stars of the counterculture, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're, you know, like punk came against like disco and, you know, all these different things. Grunge came against the 80s and
trying to ignite the fire of a new movement.
Yeah, we're right at the cusp of the next, you know, wave
coming because people are just tired of.
Well, I mean, music has always kind of had an ebb and flow. Like, you know, like you were just saying, like there is always these moments where it swings so far one way. The only option it has is to swing back the other way. It's very pendulum-esque.
Oh, we're swinging.
It seems that we're at that moment now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, it's got to happen sooner or later. I say it so much through multiple episodes at this point that just like eventually what is current is going to become, you know,
obsolete.
Exactly. It's got to get different at some point.
By Taylor Swift.
And y'all are definitely there. And I mean, I was checking out your most recent track, Rattlesnake Valentine.
Oh yeah.
And it's cool. It's cool. It's super beefy. The snare in particular.
The snare, huh?
Like,
it's
just
compliments.
It hits so hard. Like it cuts through everything.
Yeah. Okay.
The guitar
No,
was great as
please,
well.
please,
but
he
like
deserves it.
specifically in that track, the snare just has this very outstanding sound.
Nice.
Since you've already mentioned it by name, I'll say it's kind of like that one Metallica track that Lars did. Where like, I mean, it might have been a whole album.
Wait, hold on. What was it? Saint Anger?
I think so, yeah, but not so much in like similar tonality, but
That's
just
funny.
like, it was so present and it had this just like this feel to it.
Yeah.
But I mean, the track itself was just exciting. It was really interesting.
Yeah, it's funny because that song also evolved. It was a different song. It was a completely different song that I had. And then Vanny's like, what is going on in the song? There's so many parts. So I wrote it out for him. And there was actually a drum part that we called the rattlesnake.
That was when I was working on before.
Yeah, because he'll have names for parts, so he can remember. And so I was writing it out for him in a notebook, and I was like, we'll do rattlesnake, rattlesnake, rattlesnake here. And as I was looking at the paper with like how I wrote the drum parts, I was like, that would be cool if I just said rattlesnake, rattlesnake here. And then I just rewrote the song. And then it became Rattlesnake Valentine. But I had to kill the other darling that it was. It was called Insect Lifeguard before.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good name.
Yeah, it was about me saving a bee from drowning in my pool.
That would almost be a cool band name.
And I have, it had another section which I still might turn into that song. Because, even I had songs, like I was thinking about the other day, there's a song that I was like so passionate about, and then I just kind of forgot about working on it. And then I wrote this new song, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's that same song, but disguised as something else. So they come back if they want to.
I want to say the Rattlesnake Valentine, we kind of wrote it and then did a tour with it, right? And so I saw David Lee Roth talk about this a couple days ago. He was like, I write music so that we can go on tour.
It's true.
And I'm like,
we need a reason to tour. We're going to do a single. And then actually, I think I have t-shirts. Am I wearing?
we just like being on the road. So,
Okay.
we come up with stuff,
I'm wearing
put it
a
out.
Snake Valentine t-shirt, but I can't unzip myself right now.
Oh no.
I'll get to it later. I'll work on it. But that was basically, we did the Rattlesnake Valentine tour, and it was one of our...
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it's true. We released it on Valentine's
Oh,
Day.
exciting.
Right?
And think.
Yeah.
And then, but then, like 2 months later, a month and a half later, we went back on tour. Just, why not?
Oh yeah.
For no other reason than just
Well, I
to
mean,
do it.
it sounds like you guys even like work out your process a little bit through being on tour. Like you said, how you like get the music out there and give it a go.
At that point, we had already recorded it, though. We just were like, this is our single. We're releasing it, and we're taking it on tour.
They do evolve. You wear it around like a vest,
Yeah.
I think I played the older version of it. We played it in like Seattle. I saw footage of us playing it at the roller rink in Seattle like a year before. And I'm like, wait, that was Rattlesnake
You can
Valentine.
hear it kind of developing,
Yeah.
fun.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes it just comes right away and it's that way forever. But other times it morphs.
Yeah. No. Well, it's definitely a fun track.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I do have this moment where, sorry, y'all, it's a little loud right now.
It's all right.
I do this. I do pick out my own personal choice.
Yeah.
One that I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is going to be an odd one or not, but I went with Obstacles Popsicles.
So funny. That
So much
song
fun.
is having like it's comeback revival
good.
moment. That
Yeah.
was we recorded that ourselves when we were still trying to figure out how to be a band and how to record. And that was like our first album.
It was so long ago.
Living in Eugene at the time. And actually it's funny, the other day somebody posted like footage of us with that song, and I've seen other people posting in stories, so maybe it's gonna be a next single.
It's a really interesting track.
Re-release it.
It was so heavy. First of all, just like from bell to buzzer. I mean, it's 4 minutes of just like thick, like meaty guitar. And the vocals make it like even heavier. Like it was just a really cool track. I mean, Gold Digger was wild as well.
You went really way back.
Yeah.
When you listened to those tracks.
Well, for me, I thought that one was fun because it kind of gave off like an almost like System of a Down vibe.
Wow, okay.
Which I thought was really interesting.
Nice.
But just all your music is really exciting. Actually, I had a lot of fun diving through it.
man.
But I am curious to know individually.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite tracks to perform?
To perform.
For me, it's whatever the newest one is.
It's true. Honestly, I know it sucks to say that, but I'm always like, I'll write a new song. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, can we learn it fast enough to play it tomorrow?
Okay. 'Cause
I'm
it's funny.
always wanting to play the newest track.
It's because like every time you do a track, you're like, I can do it better. every time you put it out, I can do better next time. Every time. It's been years. Every time we learn, every time we can do it better, you know?
No, but there's many songs that are old songs that I really enjoy playing live. Like Space Kitty is always like a huge crowd pleaser. Like
certain ones
everybody goes wild. Cotton Candy Planets, people mosh, go crazy.
There's a couple that we always keep around, you know.
Yeah, I mean, there's some songs I really like. Is Dream Car. We don't play as often. I don't know why.
We don't do set lists.
Yeah, we
you know,
set lists. We just kind of like whatever.
Well, you have plenty of music, so
we have tons. Yeah.
yeah.
I just want to be.
How long can you play? I'm like, we can play for 3 hours. I don't know that you want that.
My thing is I want to be on point at all times for every song. You know, I don't want to be like, oh, I don't remember that one.
Yeah.
So I try to be able to, whatever the mood of the crowd is, whatever.
I'm going to have to relearn obstacle popsicles now because like songs that we just move on, we don't play, we kind of forget how to play them. So
Yeah.
There's been a lot of songs even from like the recent records like Blue Bubblegum that I don't remember how to play anymore. Like we haven't played Kittens in a minute and I don't know how to.
For me, my hands remember.
Yeah.
You know, my hands.
I'll just have to sit down
they
and
just
like
know
relearn
it.
them, but you know.
Yeah.
We have
Well,
tons of songs.
if you do, let me know because I want to come see y'all play.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. We got it.
And then I guess how has your process evolved over time? So like, you know, you've obviously been playing together for a little while. Like, what was it like earlier on versus now?
Well, I think it's the collaborative effort has become more strong.
Yeah.
Where
I think it was more just the riffs in the beginning that we were doing the
it was
songs.
more like, I'll write the song, I'm like, this is it. And he would come up with cool drum parts, and that was it. But I feel like now we, I think everything we talked about, we let him evolve, we collaborate on things.
I can tell you for me, like, because I sort of switched to playing drums, you know, when you're first starting off, you know, you have imposter syndrome. You're like, well, I'm playing and, you know, it sounds okay, but I'm not sure. But once you get your confidence and once you find the style and your groove, you can really explore more.
I think that I've also learned to take more risks as a songwriter and like just be more authentic and more true to myself. Whereas before I was kind of hiding behind like the obscure, you know, themes and things and like, you know, but I feel like now as I'm more stable in my identity as an artist, I'm not afraid to be more authentic. So, you know, yeah, I'll have like, you know, weird songs that feel right to me. I don't care. Dolly Deluxe, motherfucker, you know?
Hell yeah. All right. And now we've got one last question to go in this middle portion before we move on to the next bit.
Cool.
But it's probably the densest question in the
All right, we're ready.
And again, on an individual level, we've talked a lot about your experiences with music, the actions, the reactions, how y'all got to where you're at now.
Yeah.
But when it comes to your experience with music on like a one-on-one level, what does music give back to you?
Everything in life, man. It gives me the greatest. I'm just taking this one. I'm just jumping right
have
up.
one too. Okay.
When I play drums, which is the most funnest, I want to say, the most exciting thing to do, is play drums on stage in front of people. When the crowd roars, when they want more, I don't know if there's any feeling like it. So for me, it heals my heart.
Yeah.
I don't have too many gray hairs. You know, I think it's the medicine. You know,
It really is. It gives me purpose. Like I do a lot in life, like not just music, but other things, and everything that I do, I am good at because I have music, because I have that release. Because when I do music, I feel so fulfilled, you know, and like playing for people, especially when it resonates with them and like they come and shake your hand, they're like, thank you so much for that.
Oh, yeah.
Such a good experience. Like it just warms your heart and you're like, oh my gosh, this actually did something for somebody else. It's not just self-serving like that. I think that's the best.
the reciprocation of energy is incredible.
But I think it just gives you fulfillment to create something in the world. Like you take all the, like sometimes the world throws you ugly things and it's not always amazing, but the way that we get through it is like you have to transmute it somehow and like process it. And I think the best way to do it is through art. And when that art then resonates with other people is what really I think then you've come full circle.
It's how we get through life is the music.
Literally, I couldn't do without it.
It's our
my life straight up. Like when I was young, there were some sus moments where I was like, this isn't for me, this world. But music was there for me, so that's why I'm here.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Well, thank you both for sharing that. But with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to some hypothetical questions.
Sweet.
And for these, sky's the limits. The questions are all made up, so the answers are allowed to be as well.
Cool.
But the first one's pretty straightforward. If the band could perform with any other one act, the only requirement is they have to be
alive,
present, and now. Who would it be? Well, all of these are individual answers as well. So yeah, like
I'm gonna let you go first.
One first.
I know what she's thinking already.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say the predictable one.
Yes.
Okay? No, I will not. I wanna play with. Let's see. They're dead. I wanna. Shit. Hold on. Can't open for James Brown. That's not. Or I guess Dolly's still here.
We have an eclectic kind of long, appreciation for music. A lot of the people we like aren't with us anymore.
Fair.
That's just
I guess
one of those.
Oh, that would be fun. I love all the bands that they're associated with. I think that would be fun. It would be almost like we would be the bubblegum to their doom. Don't say it.
I think Mastodon would be cool.
Oh, okay.
That'd be super fun.
Now I'm curious to know what both of you thought the other one
we're not saying it. We're not saying it.
Okay.
Because we're trying to inch up on playing with them anyway, so we don't want to let them know.
Oh,
yeah.
You know when it happens.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll have to tune in for that.
We don't want to fumble.
Yeah.
And then subsequently, who are like a local band that you think y'all would play well with that you haven't had a chance to yet?
Well, we've played with Jerry A from Poison Idea, and I think that's really like the pinnacle of
That was cool.
Fame is like Poison Idea. One of my best friends that I work with, she's from France, and she literally moved to Portland because she looked at the back of her records. She's like, oh my gosh, Poison Idea are from Portland. I will definitely move there. So when Jerry A asked us to play with him, that was huge. I think that's a Portland band that I really respect.
Sea Hag?
That's a fictional band name we made up on the road.
No, never mind. I think
Yes, there's a fictional band that we wish existed and we'd play with them.
no. Okay. I like RAP.
Oh, we've played with them though.
I know, but I'd like to play more with them. I think they're fun.
Fair. Yeah, I guess y'all have played a lot, so it may be a little harder to come by a group you haven't played with at this point.
Yeah, I'm not even sure who's from Portland anymore because a lot of bands end up leaving. And
That's fair. It's always
we
hard.
consider ourselves more like not international, but I guess more like a band of the West Coast. So we don't limit ourselves to just Portland.
That's fair.
Yeah. All right.
Maybe we'll play Vancouver next.
Well, everybody.
Who's the big star in Vancouver?
That's
Should we
good.
hook up with?
That's a good question. We'll check with Ronald Record after this and see what they
Let
say.
us know.
Yeah. But everybody, at bands you think they should play with in the comments. Let's see if we can get something going.
Yeah.
And then for this next one,
Yeah.
it's just kind of a fun one. Have fun with it. Although I'm very excited for these answers.
Okay.
If the band's music could be the soundtrack for any movie, so you would your music would replace the soundtrack of that movie already. Which one would you pick?
Oh man. Some deep cuts here.
Coming from somebody who doesn't watch any movies ever.
See, I'm in the same boat, so I can't really give many suggestions. But
Some kind of like sci-fi futuristic. Maybe the Terminator.
Okay.
whoa!
Well, maybe.
As soon as you said it, I was like, actually.
The bubblegum witch.
Well,
I don't know why. It would just be such a stark contrast that it would, I think, make it more fun.
what if I just got a song on the already existing soundtrack that's awesome? I'd say like The Crow. Some old school
I
stuff.
think we'd fit well on The Crow.
Not completely do the whole soundtrack, but just get our song in there. I'd be happy to be on the Crow soundtrack. So,
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, those are both interesting and good choices.
Terminator and Crow. All right.
I mean, I stopped watching movies a long time ago. I just don't have the patience.
Fair. I do this all the time, so I don't have time to watch anything.
That's true.
Yeah.
Good for you.
And then to wrap up the hypothetical questions, if you could add one abstract instrument into the band.
Ooh.
And either you could play it yourself or you could have somebody dedicated to playing it. What would you add to the band?
Accordion.
Accordion and a theremin. Theremin?
Theremin?
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
My friend had this like doll head that was a theremin, and when its eyes lit up red, and you could just
like as you got closer and further, it would illuminate more and less.
Nice.
That was cool, something like that. But I guess definitely accordion. My
You could do the theremin. You could do a cover of the Doctor Who theme song.
Nice.
do a lot of things. Xylophone, some kind of toy piano.
I wish we could have more instruments.
Yeah, we like auxiliary percussion. Like when we're in the studio,
love it.
Like we usually leave one day for what I call the ding dings, and that session is just like, toy piano, keyboards, like triangles, smashing like cymbals together, doing some of this,
Awesome. Snaptrap.
Everything.
Some
you can
hoot
think of.
holler.
There's always that last day in the studio that you're like,
inspiration.
let's throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah.
But
castanets.
I got to, when I played in jazz band, we were playing with like 50 other people, and that's an amazing experience. And I absolutely love
a tuba would be good instead of a bass player.
I miss horns in music. I love brass. I just wish we could get back to
more
a place
percussion,
where we have
like
auxiliary percussion, brass sections, saxophone, all this good stuff would be nice to hear
section,
again.
why not?
String section, hey,
cello.
throw it in there.
Why
So
stop there,
yeah.
Some cats meowing in the distance.
So everything basically.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I feel like the cats would probably be a little hard to wrangle, but
That'd be fun.
that would be interesting as long as they were okay with it.
Yeah.
All right.
Our cats like our music.
Hell yeah. Hey, that's what matters.
They like it when I change my strings.
They like to sit on the amps.
They like that.
Oh, they love this
warm usually, so that's why they like to hang out.
Cats and amps, man.
Yeah.
They love the amps and guitar
could be
cases. My cat Vicky, she will not tolerate my guitar case not being in her favorite spot, and there's like a little.
We have to leave it.
See where the fur is, where the white.
We take it on tour, and
she gets mad. She's like, "Bring me back my bed."
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, Cats on Amps could be a coffee table book.
Yeah.
Cats in guitar cases.
Or in guitar cases. When you open it, they're in there. If you close it, they're on it. Like, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's very peculiar.
Well, just start taking pictures of all that. You could definitely make a book.
Calendar.
Yeah. Oh, I would buy that calendar.
We are entrepreneurial minded, so
very much.
We'll take a note of it. Yeah.
All right, but with that being said, we're going to go ahead and start wrapping this up.
All right.
What can we look forward to between now and the end of the year?
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
We're working hard.
Cooking hard in the kitchen.
We're cooking. Let us cook here.
Like, we're literally cooking up this new album that is going to be our best yet. And we're super excited about it. So we're working on it right now, recording a little bit as we go. And I am also doing like a bubblegum that goes with it.
Oh, exciting.
Like a natural bubblegum. I'm all about like making our own stuff and merch. So I'm doing like a makeup line, cosmetics, but all natural hair products. Yeah, just like a rapper, but all natural and healing. And we're
no chemicals.
No chemicals. Yeah, just like really, it's actually crazy to think about how hard it is to find even cosmetics that you think don't have bad stuff. They say, oh, we're natural. You look back and there's like all these toxic things in there. So when we were on tour last time, he's like, you should just do your own like makeup line, your own products, things that we use, like dry shampoo on tour. Like we're always like wanting to chew gum after shows, and it's like there's no. Even the whole gum conspiracy, like I went down the rabbit hole and like nobody wants to tell you the secret to their gum base. It's like this whole guarded secret and it's mostly rubber, plastic, like trash, So I've been developing my own and it's going really well. So I'm super excited to fuse like the whole bubblegum doom universe together. So you can taste it.
Very on brand.
You can wear it and it all smells like bubblegum, obviously. So
so lifestyle brand, more shows, more music.
A big tour in September, and actually, I want to do a shout out. We're doing a Portland show in September at Oaks Park. It will be the Weird Portland United, kind of like just keeping Portland weird, which we are single-handedly trying really hard to do. And we're doing it.
Hell yeah. Well, definitely looking forward to all of that.
Thank you.
This next one, go and look straight at your cameras and tell everybody how they can find you.
You can find us on the internet. We are very active on Instagram, instagram.com/foxmedicinenoise, one word. Our website is bubblegumdoom.com. And you can just ask a punk and you'll find out where we're playing on the streets again.
You can find us in the streets.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
And then any other plugs, any other shout outs, anybody else you'd like to put on while you're on here?
We love you all.
Thank you, everybody.
I love my fans. You guys are the best. I like it when you guys dress up for me.
Ah,
I'm so happy.
Oh, well, I'm sorry I stayed underdressed for today.
Now my fans, they know. The aesthetic.
we love you, Portland
Oh, yeah.
And Vancouver.
and Vancouver.
Yes.
The Couve.
And with that being-
Portland.
Yes. Now, with that being said, I've got one last question to go.
Okay.
Before we do, I'm going to steal the camera for just a second. As always, y'all, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. You know, I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. And one more shout out to the Brothers Apothecary and Ronald Records and Portland Water. Make sure to go click the link below and check them out. Guarantee you're going to like them. And with that being said, the final question. And y'all can answer in whichever order you'd like. Whoever comes up with it first.
Yeah.
What is an album you feel is more on the obscure side? So it's a deep cut. It's one not a lot of people would know, but it's one you think everybody should know.
I mean, yeah.
So many.
I can tell you in terms of like Jimi Hendrix, I like Are You Experienced? I don't know if that's a obscure.
I was going to say, that is a
Obscure.
very well-known album.
Yeah,
For sure.
But if you're a drummer, I hope you are taking notes, you know. That's where I'm at.
Let's see. There are many. I would say Queen Adrena, Daisy Chainsaw, Angelic Milk, bands that I feel like are hugely underrated but awesome. Girls Against Boys is a band that I love so much, and I just don't understand why they're not like the biggest band in the universe. They have 2 bass players. Brainiac, obviously people who know, they know. Yeah, there's just so many. So I think people just need to put in the effort and look a little harder, and they'll find a lot of gems that are hidden underneath the surface. The stuff that's shoved down your face is usually trash. That's
Well,
my take.
Those are all some solid recs for sure.
Thank you.
But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get up on out of here. Thank you all so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Fox
Yeah.
Medicine Bubblegum coming
Yeah.
soon.
And this has been another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jambox. I'm Jimmy,
Vanny.
I'm Neezy.
and we're signing off. Later, y'all.
Bye.
That's a wrap.
This is not a podcast. This is a show.
Keep jamming.